Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is Aluminum Tarot. It's a long time no see. Yeah, we're back. We're going to get back into the YouTube thing after a long, lengthy break. We're going to do, I think this time it's going to be for the sign of Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We'll be talking a little bit about some of the astrological planets and transits taking place in the planetary alignments these days. And then we'll also try to avoid some of the noise outside. But additionally, we'll go into the broader aspects taking shape for the month of August 2025. Now, as always, I'm going to try to experiment a little bit with the channel. This time, I'm showing you my face. Hopefully, this can last a little bit longer. Otherwise, I'll just go back to using my hands and the cards itself. But we'll see how this goes. Anyways, what we'll do, first off, if you like what you see here, please be sure to give a like, share, subscribe, ding the notification bell so that you don't miss any updates from future postings, and avoid them scammers. I'm not going to really say much after that because you know what they look like. Those blokes that are sending PayPal messages to you saying, oh, well, I will give you a personal reading. Please send me money via PayPal. Wahaha. And then you, of course, receive nothing but shame, guilt, and remorse. Anyways, speaking of which, let's get on with the show. I'm going to go ahead and start with your reading today. We will talk a little bit, firstly, about the transits taking place, because these are going to be important. First off, what we have here, we have Mars entering Libra. This is going to take place today, of the time of the recording, 6th of August, until September 22nd. So this is going to be a time in which you get more diplomatic approach to life and attacking things head on, using, a more, you can catch more flies with honey than with vinegar approach to life. Then we have Mercury entering Leo after a period of retrograde, which is started in the 18th of July, and that's going to move back into direct on the 11th of August, which is the coming Monday. So after that, we also have Sun entering Virgo. So for all you Virgoians out there, congratulations, it's your time to shine. We will also see that happen on August 22nd. And we will be leaving Leo, entering into Virgo. Things will become a bit more cool, calm, and collected, more organized, more focused on tasks, getting things done, preparing ourselves after the period of shining. Now we're going to actually demonstrate who we are at the ego level, if we can do so. And then after that, we have, I think it's on the 25th of August, we have Venus also entering Leo. This is going to be a bit more fiery time for love, life, and passion, things that you're connected to, your relationships, friendships, and so on. Will take on a more Leo approach, which will allow you to get things at the deeper level and really allow you to express yourselves through these mediums of love and connections. So that said, let's go ahead, let's break it down. We have the Wild Unknown Tarot deck. It's one of my faves. It helps me to kind of channel my inner Jungian characteristics for a lot of these readings. So let's get started. Lindsay. It's taking place for the sign of Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's taking place for the sign of Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. What is taking place for the sign of Sagittarius for the month of August 2025, Sun, Moon, and Rising. What is taking place for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the month of August 2025. So, go ahead and get started. Yeah, okay, we're just going to go into it. So, can't remember where I put all the other stuff up. Just going to do it a different way. Now, what is Sagittarius' current energy? What is the challenge Sagittarius is facing at the moment? the challenge Sagittarius is facing at the moment. It's taking place in the recent past for Sagittarius. It's taking place in the near future for Sagittarius. All right, very good. What is at the core of Sagittarius's energy? Is that the crown? Is that the crown of Sagittarius's energy? Is the outcome, which has fallen on the floor. So let's go ahead and see what that outcome is. We have the Ten of Swords and a bunch of cards, which I will not take. Clarify the Ten of Swords. Oh, there we go. So we're in a period of deep introspection and strategizing as to what we can do in order to resolve an issue of conflict or challenge. So we go from the Five of Swords, which is the cutthroat energy. This is different from the Five of Wands, which is where we're practicing and we're doing this in an amicable way, which builds our character up. Now we're in a way where we're actually putting ourselves out there and doing our best to fight against all of our opponents in a specific context. This could be job related, this could be love related, getting back in the dating scene. This could be related to, you know, making your name, your presence known in a specific manner. It could have the chance, competing for job, for a house, or we could have, any particular arena in which we are needing to choose a different approach. The Five of Wands is the bloodthirsty, cutthroat approach. The Five of Swords, but the Seven of Swords is the approach which requires more strategy and underhanded tactics. So that is pretty much what you're doing together. You're putting a plan together that's going to allow you to overcome a difficult opposition in your life. So what you have right now, you have the Judgment in the reverse, which is the first card that is taking shape. This is who you are in the present energy, and this is about you waiting for a delayed judgment on something you have initiated in the past. This is normally a slow build up, it being a major arcana card, which is different from the lovers, in which you would say, you have the ability to make the choice whenever you want. This is the judgment where this comes from on high down to you. So you're waiting maybe for a job response, you're waiting for um, something significant to come into your life, maybe a new job, maybe, a new partnership. Maybe you're waiting for a loan, or you're waiting for something that would allow you to move from judgment into the world. Judgment, I believe, is card number 20. After that comes the world, which is the period of completion. So you are near the end of the Fool's journey in the major arcana. But you have one thing that you're waiting on that is going to allow you to jump over that obstacle or that hurdle and allow for you to bring this to the level of completion. The challenge, which is actually taking that, is the Father of Pentacles. So, with the Father of Pentacles, this is the King of Pentacles. This is about getting stability and mastering your domain in the earthly realm. This is about you being on your A game when it comes to, doing a job, building a legacy of any kind of importance, mastering your skill and craft at work, being able to build a home life, a family life, getting towards that Ten of Pentacles, which is the expression of completion, 10 being the level of completion, or the expression of completion. So the King of Pentacles would indicate something, with the Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn as well, being a person who masters this domain. So if you have Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn in your chart, like I do, this reading would resonate for you. Now, in the recent past, you had the Sun, and this was clarified by the Five of Wands, I mean, the Five of Swords in the reverse. So we just talked about the swords per se. We had the Seven of Swords as what you don't see coming. In the recent past, you had to deal with the Five of Swords. Pretty ugly card, but this is a sword in the reverse. It means the conflict is no longer there. You have decided to withdraw away from someone's cutthroat or backstabbing qualities, their behaviors, and things of that nature. And what you're doing now, you're stepping into this sun. This is the revelation that all of this has taken place. You now are clear on what has been going on with this particular underhanded individual or a group of individuals who have stabbed you in the back. And throughout all of this, what you are now seeing is that you're moving into an energy that is a bit more conducive to your life, which is the Ace of Wands. Now, Taurus also had a very similar one where they were being offered an Ace of Pentacles, no, an Ace of Cups, sorry, in the near future, which was going to help them out. And now you have the Ace of Wands. So if you have Taurus in your chart, this may resonate with you a bit. What is this Ace of Wands about? What is the Ace of Wands about? So, Queen of Cups in the reverse. I think what you're doing now, you've looked back in your life in which you've found that it was very difficult for you to keep the boundaries needed in order for you to preserve your own sense of self, the amount of energy that you poured into things. You may have overgiven in the past. You may have offered a bit too much, and this kind of knocked you off kilter and made your emotional state a little bit more difficult. You may have dealt with smothering people who were trying to micromanage you or to cause issues in your life. Whatever particular way this showed up or manifested in your reality, this is what you're having a new start. You're saying, no, I'm putting all of that behind me. I'm getting over this Queen of Pentacles in the reverse, and I'm now moving into a new start where I'm going to be able to make the most of this situation and get away from this cutthroat energy and now get over the pain of the past to move into an Ace of Wands energy. So at the very core of you, what you've been doing, you have the High Priestess. And this is all about you going within. This is very similar to the Hermit, whereas the High Priestess, I see her more as she is a master of this domain, whereas the Hermit takes the time off from the Strength, the 8, to the 9, which is the Hermit card. The High Priestess lives this realm every day. She is a master of using her intuition, guiding herself and being able to come out of a difficult situation to bring balance and polarity back to her life. So, and she actually does this for other people, whereas the Hermit does it for themselves. So the Hermit being the Virgo card, and the High Priestess being the Pisces card, they are polar opposites. This is another thing that we should note. And for this particular thing, the Pisces is typically the higher manifestation or the high octave of kind of this energy of going within and coming out with all the answers. The Hermit does this on the earthly realm. The High Priestess does this on the spiritual realm. So you yourself, you're taking this, you're taking stock and reflecting all of the things that have taken place in the past. And you're now going to say, okay, how do I move forward into the future so that I can have this new start? And this is going to be very important for you as you move throughout August, because what we want to do is to avoid repeating the mistakes of the past, avoiding these kind of corporate psychopaths or people who have been backstabbing you in your personal life, and moving into a better energy so that way you can avoid these types of melodramas. This could be from you starting your own business. It could be actually from you getting a job in which the workplace environment is going to be a lot better for you, rather than dealing with miscreants all the time or dealing with a lot of people who are only out for themselves. Clarify the Father of Swords in the reverse. Clarify the Father of Swords in the reverse. Father of Swords in reverse. So you have two Wands cards. This is the Son of Wands. This is basically the Knight of Wands. Yes, we have a lot of motorcyclists out here. I salute them. Um, Now, what you know already is the Father of Swords in the reverse. This is someone who has basically been quite, for lack of a better word, um, narcissistic, someone who uses their intellect to hurt or deceive other people, plays mind games with them. You are the Son of Wands. You are the Knight of Wands in this case, and you are basically, you're aware of this person, and you are moving forward, being the Sagittarius, and this being your energy, moving out of that and saying, you know what, these are the types of people that I will not allow to have in my life. I'm moving forward. I'm going to go from the Knight of Wands into the Queen of Wands, where I'm stepping into my power and attracting the things I need. So if you're now doing that, you've left an old position and now you're getting into a new job or a new position. You've left an old neighborhood, which is full of riffraff and all that. Now you're getting into a better neighborhood, which is going to be better for building a family, starting an enterprise, or things like that. That is what you're doing, leaving behind the old and stepping into the new, which is going to help you out tremendously. Um, we then know that we also, for the Knight of Wands, we have to take the action and move forward without, burning ourselves out, but additionally having a sense of direction and purpose. And Sagittarians, you know that this is what you were built for. You leave behind the old chaos that is, taking place in Scorpio, and you say, okay, I've learned my lesson. Let's try to be optimistic about this. Let's try to plan for the future, set our archer's mark, and shoot and try to aim for the moon. Even if you miss, you land among the stars, as they say back in the old. So, what we have here is a very beautiful ending, a very beautiful outcome, because you have the 10 of Swords and the 9 of Pentacles. You're moving from this dark, difficult ending, and you're finally moving into a period of financial abundance. So, again, taking the job situation, if you have dealt with bastards, let's just call them spade a spade, if you've dealt with a bunch of bastards in your previous company and you are now moving into that new start, this is going to allow you to bring an end to the backstabbing. And you can see this bull here. I mean, this is another Taurus card here, it seems, because we do have this imagery of the bull or the bison. And you have this person who's like, this is dead, done, and over with. I'm no longer going to be dealing with these types of painful situations where I have to overanalyze what happened, what went wrong. And now I'm stepping into an energy of abundance. This could be starting your own enterprise, but it could also be you finally getting back to best in getting financially independent, allowing yourself to work in a new environment, which will conducively help you to receive this financial independence. So I think this is where you're going for the month of August. I think it's going to be a great, step for you to take. And we're going to pull one card, which will allow us to talk a little bit about the overall message, the overall theme for the month of August. What is the overall message for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, August 2025? Okay, here we go. So here we go. Exactly what we were talking about. The end of a tough cycle approaches. This is full moon in Capricorn. So we are building our energy into cumulative, epoch, not an epoch necessarily, but an apex of our best efforts in the material world. And this is yet again another earth sign card that we are alluding to, which tells us that we climb from step to step. to reach the mountain. I talked about the mountain in Taurus's reading. Again, if you're a Taurus, that showed up in the Three of Pentacles, which is indicated in the deck here. Um, this is very good because we had that Ten of Swords. We just saw that as our outcome. And this is the end of a tough cycle approaches, which means that we have that Ten of Swords. That cycle is dead, done, and over with. We went from the Five of Swords in the recent past to the final outcome, which was the Ten of Swords. This is the completion of a difficult period of cutthroat behavior in a specific environment. And now you're moving into a better, you know, you have the Ace of Wands, you have the Nine of Pentacles, you have the Knight of Wands, and then you have the full moon in Capricorn. You are reaching the summit as Taurus is doing in their reading. So wonderful. This is very good. And I think this is going to allow you moving forward to look to better prospects in the end of, by the end of August. And I think as we move into that Venus and Leo energy, we're going to finally start to show ourselves a bit more. We're going to move into better relationships that are going to allow us to be a bit more expressive, creative. It's kind of like Venus in the fifth house energy almost, where your love of creativity, your love of the act of creation is what allows you to shine the best. So that is going to be it. This is Aluminum Tower. Thanks so much for joining today. Really appreciate your time and energy, and hopefully this has been of some use and help for you. If you like what you see here, please be sure to give a like, share, subscribe, ding the notification bell. And that's really all I ask of you, because I'm not going to be taking any money from that through any personal readings or like that. Just report the scammers. That's it. Until then, have a good day and love and light.